Om Shanti, a very good morning and a divine greeting to everyone. Now let us all come together to lovingly call upon our dear Baba. And then, yesterday, I learned something from Baba that I feel is important to share with all of you. You may be familiar with a prominent and well-known company called Mercedes, which is renowned for its Mercedes and Rolls-Royce cars are known to be quite expensive. In particular, the cars manufactured by Rolls-Royce are especially costly. Rolls-Royce never engages in advertising, and if they do, it is done on a very limited scale. So, it was discovered yesterday that whenever they need to sell their cars, they choose not to participate in car exhibitions or similar events. The jets that are used for private travel. Wealthy individuals utilize private jets for their travels, which can cost anywhere between 3 to 5,000 crore rupees, and they park them right next to each other. They invest extra money to ensure their vehicle is parked in this specific spot. Now you might be curious as to why I am telling you this. How significantly our emotions can influence our actions, and how much marketing truly relies on the way we present things. Where exactly are you placing these items? So, if they go to a car exhibition, buyers will see the most expensive cars. They might think, forget these expensive ones, these others look just as good. But what will someone coming for a 4,000 to 5,000 crore plane see? So, when we invoke the presence of Baba in our lives, one aspect is that we remember Baba because we recognize him as God and the Almighty Authority. Another significant part is the deep emotional bond we can form with Baba, feeling that he truly belongs to us. He has come for me, and he is putting in the effort to help me achieve my highest spiritual goal. While I am making my own efforts, he is also working hard alongside me. Therefore, when we immerse ourselves in these deep emotions and call upon Baba while being in the presence of Baba and feeling that profound connection with him, so the level of understanding, the level of blessings, and the level of emotions greatly assist in comprehending this knowledge. The whole world is like a small child. For example, a child may not understand the world's languages, but they understand their mother's gesture. Why? Because they are connected to their mother with feelings. So let us invite our beloved Baba with those feelings. Then we will listen to Baba. Let's proceed. Complete in every way. Puri. If you are attentive, you will know that today, February 24th, 2025, marks a significant spiritual occasion. Baba said, sweet children, this spiritual hospital will make you ever healthy for half a kalpa. Beloved children, this spiritual hospital is here to keep you eternally healthy for half a kalpa. Sit here with the self-respect and dignity of Kurd. Here, sit in the awareness of being a soul And this spiritual hospital will make you ever healthy. Sit in the awareness of being a soul. As we increasingly remain in the state of soul consciousness, it not only supports our physical body, but also helps us accumulate spiritual wealth for the future. The Supreme God's divine yoga is the remedy for all ailments. Through this sacred practice, anything can be achieved. So, dear children, this spiritual hospital is here to keep you perpetually healthy for the Remembrance Club. Sit here with the awareness of your soul. The question is, even while doing business, what direction should the mind remember? No matter what task you are engaged in, which direction should your mind be oriented to keep your focus on Baba? Whenever you are engaged in any activity, which direction should your mind be focused on? Which direction should you follow? Baba says, the Father's direction is that you should not remember any corporeal or incorporeal being. Remembering the one Father destroys sins. No one can say they lack time for this. You can stay in remembrance while doing everything. You can stay in remembrance even while carrying out all your tasks. Baba's guidance is to avoid remembering any physical or subtle forms. When you remember the one Father, all sins are destroyed. But in what form? Remember the one Father. So no one can say there's no time for the destruction of sins. Some say, we're very busy, we don't have time to sit. If you don't have time to sit, do it while walking. Om Shanti, my beloved and sweet spiritual children, I urge you all to take a moment and wholeheartedly respond to the Supreme Father's loving good morning greeting. Sweet and loving spiritual children, you are the most beloved and extremely dear ones to the Supreme Father, who is the Almighty Authority, the highest and most revered being. You may bestow upon my Father countless titles of honor and respect, but when it comes to greeting him, saying Good morning, Baba is definitely not considered appropriate. Good morning, Baba is not just a greeting. When a mother says good morning to her little child, it might seem like a normal gesture, but those loving words are filled with immense affection and warmth. When a child says, Good morning, Papa, the father doesn't typically respond with Good morning, son. However, as the child matures, he will start using similar greetings, and when a young child says Good morning, we often respond with affection, sometimes even bestowing a special nickname for that moment. So today, remember to greet Baba too. After saying good morning, tell the children to remember Baba. In a second, I am in the supreme abode. In the divine company of Baba, I feel a profound sense of spiritual awakening that fills my soul with the blessings he generously bestows upon us. At the highest peak of this drama, after greeting everyone with a good morning, the children are then instructed to remember the Father. They also call out, O purifier, please come and make us pure. Therefore, Baba always emphasizes that it is of utmost importance to remember the spiritual father right from the start. There is only one spiritual father for everyone in this world, and the Father is never considered to be omnipresent. Children, As much as possible, focus on remembering the Father first. Do not think of any physical or subtle form other than the Father. This is very easy. People often say they are too busy and do not have the time, but there is always time for this. In this practice, you always have time. And even while walking or doing your daily chores, there are very few tasks that require your undivided attention. Just as you work on your office tasks very seriously, children should also study very seriously. In that, someone had asked Jagdish Bhai Ji, and he explained that there were gaps in between. Study for an hour, then remember Baba for 5 minutes. Repeat this process. Don't think you can skip studying and just meditate to pass. It doesn't work that way. Every now and then, you need to give yourself 5 minutes. People say they are busy and have no free time, but there is always time for this. The Father provides methods, and you know that by remembering the Father, our sins will be burned away. Mahini Didi brought a brother to meet Sakar Baba. So that brother used to always say that he doesn't have any free time or that he is extremely busy with his commitments. Our Brahma Kumari sisters possess an admirable trait. They never give up and persistently encourage, brother, please come, brother, please come. So, when Brotherji was making his way back, there was another group of people who were joining him on the return journey. The individual who was about to leave was a brother, and his name was Don. I told everyone that good children will come soon. Beloved children, we will meet again soon. Come quickly. And as the child was leaving, Baba said, all right, child, we will meet in Dharam Rajpuri. Mohini Didi, who was standing nearby, asked with curiosity, Baba, why did you say that to him? To this, Baba responded with a gentle and knowing smile. And then that brother went home. A few days later, he fell ill and eventually passed away. Our sacred and divine purity, our supreme power, our future. With deep focus, one can perceive the future and the thoughts of others with clarity. Baba's spiritual power was on a different level. That is why I keep telling you about a form of yoga Baba mentioned. We are not paying attention to it. Firm faith leads to victory. Let me give you a simple example from the worldly perspective. Imagine we are both sitting here in the dining hall, you and I, and at that moment I turn to you and say, Sister, brother, I need to get a flashlight. This is very important. So if you say it is kept in my room, so you say that it is also kept in my room, and I respond by asking you to bring it here. Now, the question arises, to whose room will you go, yours or mine? Most likely, you will go to your own room. Even if I were to suggest that you go to my room, you would still choose your own because you are certain and aware of exactly where the torch is kept. You will need to go to my room and locate it first. Once you know the room, you then have to find the torch. Even if I tell you where the torch is, you still have to look for it. So, what is the difference between the two? There is only one process. Do we have full faith in what it is? That's why it will be available, whether it's a minute less or a bit. I don't even know where I've kept the torch. Nishchay Buri Vijayanti means that the day you have faith in God, faith in the drama, and faith in what Baba says, faith in the Father, faith in the drama, and faith in yourself, that day all these switches will turn on. You will understand how to practice yoga, how to do tapasya, and what intense spiritual effort is. What are beliefs like? Nowadays, things are often in a state of flux or seem pointless. But this will not be the case. When you turn on the light, everything becomes clear. Try yoga on this. So, the main point is Baba says there's no time, but there's always time for this. The Father explains the method. By remembering the Father, our sins will be burnt away. There's no restriction on doing business or other activities. Just remember the Father while doing them. Your sins will be destroyed. We understand that we are impure, whether we are monks, saints, or sages. Even ascetics and hermits engage in spiritual disciplines to seek communion with the divine. Spiritual practice is undertaken to meet God. During the time of Sakar Baba, a notable event took place when a Buddhist monk visited him. A photograph exists that captures this significant encounter. So he was in his dress. Baba then said, "Child, Baba will give you a dress. Will you wear it?" He replied, "Yes, Baba, I will definitely wear it." For 2 or 3 days, he stayed in a white kurta pajama. Then, when I went back again, it appeared that the sister from Banaras, who is known for delivering such spiritual messages, was present there at that time. So he said Baba has blessed them. He said that the child only had the desire to meet, and he did. This is a great soul of their faith. So Baba says that spiritual practice is done to meet God. Maybe even in some interview, Didi has mentioned this. I can't recall his name, the one from Banaras who gave the message. Does anyone remember his name? Spiritual practice is done to meet God, so until you are introduced to Him, you cannot meet Him. You know, no one in the world knows the introduction of the Father. Manorama Didi, not Sandeshi Didi, but rather Satendra Didi. What was her name again? I think it was Satendra Didi, if I remember correctly. Let me ask and find out today. If I get the interview, I will let you know. Suresh Didi? All right, leave it for now. Surrender Didi? Right. Nisha Mataji explained correctly. And Surrender Dediji is absolutely right. He just shared a memorable experience, though the full story might not be clear. Essentially, everyone understands the body's introduction. Important things are quickly grasped. The soul's introduction comes with realization. The soul and the body are distinct entities. The soul is like a star and very subtle. The soul is akin to a luminous star, incredibly subtle. Today we should focus our meditation on this. In all three aspects, make sure to awaken the soul as it is deeply connected to your inner powers. In your attainments, in your treasures, in your meditation, the subtle mind knows every subtle thing. Though he remains unseen, when you gather here, you should sit with the awareness of being a soul. I am a soul, and this soul, which represents my true essence, listens through these ears. The soul is in an elevated state of spiritual awareness. This place is also a hospital for the soul to remain eternally healthy for half of the cycle. The soul is indestructible and never faces destruction. The entire role is played by the soul. The soul says, I never encounter destruction. All souls are eternal, while the body is transient. Now, it is deeply ingrained in your understanding that we, as souls, are eternal. You have understood that we souls are eternal, and we experience 84 births. This is a grand play where you are aware of the religious founders, their arrival times, and the number of births they undergo. Certainly, the 84 births are celebrated and must pertain to a particular religion. The 84 births mentioned will be explained. You'll learn which souls they pertain to. But with the 84 births, there must be some related religion. Not everyone can be a part of this spiritual journey as not all religious individuals come together. Why should we judge others? Sometimes Baba gets very personal with the family. Arrival. You know that religious founders come at different times to establish their faiths. Then they grow and evolve. Everything moves from purity to impurity. Everything transitions from a state of purest virtue to complete degradation. When the world reaches its peak of impurity, the Father descends to recreate a world of supreme purity. You children now understand that we, the people of Bharat, will once again come to rule the world. We, the people of Bharat, will return to establish governance in the new world. These are the souls of the highest deity religion, 900,000. Secondly, particularly around 2 crore souls, who will remain until the conclusion of the Golden Age and the end of Vaikuntha. And thirdly, 330 million souls who are the genuine residents of Bharat have invested their physical, mental, and financial efforts towards the establishment of Bharat. There will be no other religion. Among you children, those who aspire for a high status make intense efforts to stay in constant remembrance. Those who aspire to achieve a higher rank put in extra effort to stay in continuous remembrance and make sure to emphasize this. Hang your thoughts on the peg in the room of your intellect and also write in the letter to Baba, mentioning that I remain in remembrance for this much time. There are 4 days left for the chart, right? If you need to start sending the chart, go ahead and do it. See it from a different angle. Baba speaks in hints. Those seeking higher spiritual status should notice this. They make an effort to stay in constant remembrance and also write updates, the children who write to Baba daily. Those who put in a greater effort to stay immersed in deep remembrance can attain that higher spiritual rank. Have the outcomes been communicated? Those with that elevated status do this. Those who do this will have that status. You must submit your chart daily, every day. Write it in your notebook, and in the evening, go to Baba's room at Pandav Bhavan, show it to Baba, and then go back to sleep. It only takes a second. Baba shared such wonderful teachings. Close your eyes for a second. You will reach Pandav Bhavan. At 10:30 p.m., you hear the cricket chirping, chirp, chirp, chirp. It's just you and Baba sitting there. No one else in the entire Madhuban. Just return, and Baba will take full responsibility for everything that needs to be taken care of. Your morning, your sacred early hours, your endeavors, your spiritual practices, your rest, your mental state, and your reflections. Because after that, the duty of your sleep is handed over to the divine. Among you children, those who aspire for a higher status put in extra effort to stay in remembrance and write in their letters that they spend a certain amount of time in remembrance. However, some feel shy and do not provide the full details, choosing instead to send their complete report at the end of the month. Do not send it. I spend so much time in meditation that I hesitate to share all the news, fearing Baba's reaction. However, it is understood, isn't it? In school, teachers will tell students that if they don't study, they will fail. Even worldly parents understand from their child's studies that this is a vast institution. Even worldly parents can grasp the significance of their child's education in such a grand school. Those of you who are teachers should especially keep in mind that you should never tell any child that they will fail. You should always say that you can maintain. And even now, if I will help you, but you must lift yourself up. No one should be brought down. Reality will remain reality. Neither you nor anyone else can change it. However, if you present reality with a sense of royalty, it might alter the course of the drama. Drama means brother. If you explain it to him with love, he might realize it and start studying. Here, we do not assign seats by number. It is understood through wisdom and intellect. There are always rankings, and Baba sends the good children to specific places. So here, there is a seating order. If someone says, "Brother, you are ranked at this number, please sit at the back," then they might find it quite unusual. But back in our school days, we had a system in place where students would rotate positions on a regular basis. So in this rotation system, the arrangement was such that the last row would come to the front, the second row would move to the first, and the third to the second. This rotation happened every week. When it was our turn to sit in front, we let other kids sit. We stayed in the back. Baba says to seat everyone in front. Baba explains that understanding comes through intellect, not by seating arrangement. He sends capable children to various places, and when they leave, they write back asking for a Maharati, indicating they consider themselves wise and renowned. Some make specific demands, like requesting someone from Madhuban to come. One thing is they are better than us, and another is the importance of this place. When specific souls are selected and placed, that location holds special importance. Today, we have been blessed with the presence of the Honorable Satyanarayan Bhai Ji as we gather to commemorate the anniversary of his revered father's passing. We were on our way here just now. A Sevadari mentioned that the dedicated ones receive numerous blessings, but there are no such blessings for the Sevadaris, brother. So, I said that the dedicated ones do not receive gifts. The dedication itself is the gift received after those 8 years of struggle. Every place has its own value. Each place has its own importance. The place is there. Baba is there. Baba has seated us. That's separate. But the outcome doesn't depend on that. The result can come from anywhere. Others believe we should be vigilant. So we must recognize that some individuals are more aware than others. During the exhibition, a variety of people will attend. So guides should be present to assess and understand each person they encounter. At the exhibition, there should be 2 individuals stationed, as Baba used to instruct, to welcome and guide the incoming visitors. Good yogis should discern the nature of those who come. If they are receptive listeners, share the spiritual knowledge with them. If they are not, just provide an introduction. Service should be done with the intention of both, but there should be discernment. Donations should be given after assessing the worthiness. In such instances, you should guide them to understand. You can recognize that there are varying levels, first, second, and third. Here, we are meant to serve everyone. Here, we must serve everyone. So it is right to give charity after considering the worthiness of the recipient and not to show partiality. Our Baba also says that if someone's behavior is like that, they need to be treated accordingly. But we should not let our minds differentiate between someone being a VIP and someone not being one. Providing treatment is essential and perfectly fine. If the Prime Minister visits, we won't tell him to help himself to food like we do with Chintu. You wouldn't talk to him like that, brother. Show respect. We're very happy to see you, sir. You wouldn't say to Chintu, "Come, son, I'm happy to see you. If you understand, then act accordingly. But it is important that the love should remain equally strong for both. You can understand there are first, second, and third grades. Everyone must serve here. If someone is important, everyone will cater to them. This is the norm. The father or teacher praises the children in class. This is the highest form of respect. When someone's name is mentioned in class, it is a great honor. Baba mentions it. The children who have their names taken out are praised or assured. This one is wealthy and religious minded. This is also assured, isn't it? Now you know that the highest of the high is God. Jagdish Bhai Ji mentions that when we initially arrived at Pandav Bhavan, it was approximately 13 to 14 years ago. From 1955 to 1965, about 8 to 10 years. Ever since Jagdish Bhai met there and then here, for the first 14 years, there wasn't a single Murli without Bhai Sahab's name. This is indeed a matter of great importance, and even today, you might have noticed the famous Jaslok Hospital in Mumbai and wondered who hasn't heard of Didi. It wasn't just about her family. It also involved many influential businessmen who managed extensive enterprises and handled large consignments. So when sister came here, she was given a special room and all those things. But sister herself recommended that she stay the same way as everyone else, though it still happened. This individual is affluent and spiritually inclined, and you are confident of this fact. You are aware that God is the highest, the supreme being. While people do acknowledge his supreme status, they often diminish his greatness by merely stating he is omnipresent when asked about his life. Now you can explain that God is undoubtedly the highest of the high, surpassing all others. In their original realm, they exist as divine beings in the subtle world. Here on earth, we manifest as humans. Thus, the highest of all is the formless supreme being, the most exalted, the formless supreme being. Who is he? He is none other than Shiv Baba, the divine point of light. Recently, Baba has conferred upon him a unique title. What was it about the original world, the subtle world, and the physical world that you remember from last week? Last week, Baba gave a title to the three realms together. Do you remember what it was? Sister, please send a private direct message to everyone. Now that everything is fine, everyone will receive it, whether they are on the first floor, the second floor, or the third floor. Do you know what the first floor is? Are you aware of which floor is the first? Above what? Above there is also the subtle region. Look, someone has written Stulvatan. Who is this expert? First, there is the incorporeal world, and then there is the physical world. After the Paramdam, the next realm is the subtle world, and following the subtle world, we then have the physical world. The first level, known as the Supreme Abode, is the dwelling place of the Almighty Master, who embodies boundless power and wisdom. The Supreme God is the refuge of the pure. At present, you are aware that we, who once shone like diamonds, have now become mere shells, and even God has been lowered below us. You know what we have become. Once we were like precious diamonds, but now we have turned into mere stones. We have even lowered God below our own level. They don't recognize you. Only you people of Bharat get recognition. Then gradually, the recognition begins to fade away. But at this moment, you are the ones who are bestowing the recognition of the Father to everyone. You have indeed recognized, but you then give everyone the recognition of the Father. Soon, people will come to understand who the Father is, and recognize your main image, which is our main picture, in which everything comes. Knowledge comes, the confluence age comes, the inheritance comes, all comes. Which one? The CD is exceptionally well crafted, offering a profound explanation of the Trimurti cycle, the sphere, the root, and the interconnectedness of these spiritual concepts. First, you should jot everything down and then proceed to draw two lines and a circle, which will represent the Trimurti. Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan encompass everything in Trimurti. Baba has highlighted three main pictures here: the Trimurti, the tree, and the globe. No one can say how much light they hold. These are images of Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan, rulers of the Golden Age. So, what was there before the Golden Age? You are also aware that we are currently at the conclusion of Kali Yuga, a significant period where common people hold the power to govern. There is a kingdom over the people, but now there are no kings. There is a big difference. In the Golden Age, kings ruled. Even now, in the Iron Age, there are kings, but they are different. They lack purity, yet some go as far as purchasing titles with money. Some people even buy titles with money. There is no real Maharaja. Being a Maharaja means one should have authority, right? So some people even pay money to get a title. Do not buy titles with money. Some people even wear the badge of the dedicated ones after buying it. If it brings you joy and happiness, keep it within yourself or put it in your pocket. You may wear it around your neck, but do not wear it here until you truly hold that title in reality. If you wish to adopt that title, you are committing a sin every single day. Because if you look at the world outside, you will find people who are not IAS officers, yet they flash their cards everywhere, pretending to be one. You are not a legislator, yet it says legislator, and the police caught you. What do you do then? So, the title that you do not have is something that must be earned. Nowadays, everything is available in bulk. People rely on technology. They have started selling these batches. Those who are selling are also partaking in major sin, and those who are buying are even more so. Imagine you wear such a large badge around your neck. What will be the outcome of that? This simply indicates that you are not truly embodying what you wish to display. You feel the need to show off precisely because you are not truly that. A wealthy person never flaunts their wealth. They stay humble and act normal. They are like, yes, okay, okay. Those who have just become rich show off expensive clothes and shoes. It's not that one shouldn't wear them. However, for them, it's a normal occurrence, and they make it a point to show it off everywhere, explaining the price of each item they own. In other words, they want to flaunt their possessions. Nowadays, there's a trend of owning Apple phones. If you have the means, why not buy one? Using the best things is natural. But if you don't have the money and you are overstepping your limits to obtain those things, it falls into the category of sin, doesn't it? Therefore, it is crucial to always be mindful of your boundaries and limitations, as access to Brahma Bhojan becomes unrestricted and open to everyone. Many things happen, and you may notice that no one stops you at the gate. Often, people are very hesitant to question you because you are wearing a badge, but unless it is officially granted to you, it should not be worn. You shouldn't wear it. If someone around you wears it, especially if you don't meet them, tell them it's okay to wear the badge inside, but not for show. Titles are not obtained through show, they are earned. They adopt titles like the Maharaja of Bikaner, which hold timeless significance. Initially, there were pure Maharajas, but now there are impure ones. These titles have persisted through time. For Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan, it is said they ruled the golden age. Who ruled then and who rules now? You now understand the process of establishing a kingdom. Who assumed the kingdom? Yesterday I mentioned that if I aspire to establish a realm of true righteousness, what must I do to bring unrighteousness? Did you read that message? Everyone needs to read it. I posted it there. Posted it in the group if you haven't read it. All the symptoms are clearly visible, and I will engage the entire world in various forms of entertainment and cheap attractions, keeping everyone busy. Observe how the entire world is engrossed in various distractions and amusements. The father explains, I am educating you now for the benefit of your next 21 lifetimes. They study to become barristers in this lifetime, but you are currently studying to become future kings and queens. This education is designed for those who will become future kings, and world queens. This is still the old world. A friend of ours inquired about how we are certain the golden age will arrive. I responded by saying it's just like knowing whether you will earn your degree or not. You are aware of whether your salary will arrive or not because you have complete certainty, as it has always arrived every single time. It's fundamentally about trust, brother. The wages you earn from the start to the end of the month are the fruit of your ceaseless and diligent efforts. Your account is credited by the 30th, right? You know this because you trust your hard work. I told you this the day before yesterday. If you remove the concept of God, the concept of Shiva Baba, the subtle region, and Brahma Baba, then what remains? Only high conduct is left. High conduct, high thinking. Pure conduct and brahmacharya ensure that nature remains balanced. Therefore, even when we consider nature, we realize how much it provides us. And then, after accomplishing these tasks, the simple reason is that those who do not wish to engage in such actions merely end up talking about it. That's why I say, stay quiet and only speak if you have something to do. The new world is forming as per the drama plan. This is still the old world, despite the grand palaces. Yet I lack the capability to construct palaces adorned with diamonds and jewels. If today is great, tomorrow will be amazing. The future relies on the present. In the golden age, constructing palaces of diamonds and gems happens effortlessly. Just now, look how memorable it is that a king had a 112-kilogram throne made of pure gold. They do not have that power here. Even if there are earthquakes and the like, a lot of skilled workers are employed, and within 1 or 2 years, the entire city is rebuilt. It took 8 to 10 years to build New Delhi, but there is a difference between the laborers here and the laborers there. The laborers, brothers and sisters here, and the laborers, brothers and sisters there, the labor family there will be completely different. Nowadays, new inventions keep coming up. The science of building houses is very advanced. Everything is ready made, and flats are prepared in a jiffy. It's an assembly system. Just bring it and frame it. These habits develop quickly and are useful in many significant tasks. These habits stay with us, don't they? These scientific habits will persist, So Baba now advises the children to attain purity by remembering him. Baba also greets them with a good morning and then imparts wisdom. Children, you are seated in the remembrance of the Father. When the Father greets you with a good morning, he teaches you to genuinely respect your juniors, always, and even at home. Now I'm in the middle. If brother says something, I always say, haven't you read the order? Elder brother keeps ordering us. If someone younger is there, you'd call them Chintu and ask for water. They don't see I'm in the middle. I am looking both ways. Over there, it seems like there is oppression. I haven't even given water to the younger one. Thus, in our Brahmin existence, in the Brahmin life, when challenges come my way, it feels like I am going through immense suffering. However, this also means I am becoming a test for others. He did not see that. I pass judgment on others and make remarks about them. Not contributing to others' happiness is also a form of test, and it is seen as sinful. Brother, if there is a pen, you can see a pen in my hand. This is a pen. Now, looking at this pen, you will have only one thought. It is used for writing. And if these words are not written, then what would one say about it? It would be considered a blemish or stain on the esteemed and revered title of being a Brahmin. And being a Brahmin, God has created me for happiness. We are here to practice austerity, cultivate virtues, and advance this sacred endeavor. If I am not fulfilling these roles, then what am I doing? There is no excitement. There is no enthusiasm, just going along. Sometimes when I think about it, I laugh. There is no courage. We are in Madhuban. Everyone is going to Amrit Vela, so am I. Then everyone is coming back, and so am I. Then everyone is going there, so I am also going there. Then everyone is going to the dining area, so I am also going there. Do I have any purpose in my life or not? Brother, why are you going there? Just because everyone else is going? Be different. Extend Amrit Vela, extend Murli, and after Murli, go there, not here. After classes, go there instead. Spend 10 minutes in Baba's room. The paths of kings are different. Have you seen? Have you ever seen a king? Let's set that aside for now. You must have attended a wedding. When the groom arrives, people shout, clear the way, clear the way, clear the way. But why do they do that? They remain steadfast in their own selves, staying true to their inner values and principles without wavering. And when everyone is dancing at the wedding procession, you may not feel like dancing, but you just move along with them. That is not your true identity. So, when considering my real identity as a king, what kind of schedule should I have? Baba is saying that sanskars remain, they form quickly. All these tasks come there. All these things go along. Don't the sanskars remain? These scientific impressions will continue, so now you children must learn. Baba reminds you to become pure by remembering him. He greets you with good morning and then teaches. Children, sit and remember Baba. Remember him while walking. The burden of many births is on your head. As the cycle continues, we take 84 births. Now, in this birth, we are ascending. The more we remember the Father, the happier we will be. There are many children who are placed in the forefront and are given recognition, but they do not remain in a state of remembrance at all. They appear very well, they remain gentle, they bring joy to everyone, and they stay quietly, and they participate very attentively in the Murli class. However, they do not remain in remembrance. So, If you are not engaged in your basic principles and actions, then there is no benefit. Many people have given happiness as a burden. Someone is feeding others, someone is organizing feasts, someone is building shelters for others, doing various things, and you are also doing a bit, but without yoga. Without yoga, there is no service. No inculcation without yoga. No knowledge, yoga, inculcation, or service. Without yoga, no service. Without yoga, there is no knowledge. No one can achieve it. They are sharp in knowledge, but lack the journey of remembrance. The father praises the children, saying they are number one and must be working hard. They conduct very good classes, deliver very good murli, and sit on very good stages. Where is yoga? So, how will we know if we have yoga? How can we determine if my yoga practice is genuinely powerful? Baba suggests that we should inscribe this title right here and also note down today's primary topic. Many children are placed at the front, but they are not in remembrance. They may be good in knowledge, but they do not undertake the journey of remembrance. What are the practical signs of those who are steadfast in the journey of remembrance? The father praises the children, and they are surely number one, so they must be maintaining it. Always understand that it is Shiv Baba who explains, so keep your intellect's yoga connected there. Even though you are learning, he still says, remember Baba, there are pictures to explain to anyone. God is said to be incorporeal, he comes and takes a body. All are children of the one God. All souls are like siblings. Right now, they reside in these physical forms, and every one of them is eternal. This body is the eternal seat for the immortal soul, which is an everlasting throne. This eternal throne is not something out of the ordinary or rare. Today, the kind of yoga you need to engage in is the one that focuses on subtlety. The main topic we covered earlier is centered around this subtle approach. Seated on the eternal throne among souls, the soul, in its subtle form, shines brightly like a star, and then I find myself seated on the eternal throne, radiating with divine light and purity. I am divine power. I am a divine child of God, seated on this timeless throne, destined to achieve the highest worldly sovereignty. I embody the pinnacle of asceticism and am the source of ultimate joy. Embrace this with dedication. It is still said to remember Baba. To explain, it is mentioned that God is also called the incorporeal one. He comes and takes on a body. All souls are brothers, children of one God. They are now seated in this body. All are eternal beings, and this is the throne of the eternal being. In the midst of it all, the soul resides, and this is what is referred to as the eternal throne. The soul, which is of the eternal form, is also eternal, and the Father, being incorporeal, would not have a physical throne of his own. The Father explains, this throne is also mine, and I come to take this throne as my own. I enter Brahma's pure body and sit on the eternal throne. Now you have come to realize that this throne is designated for all souls. We focus solely on humans and do not discuss animals at all. We are talking about humans, not animals. First, those humans who have become worse than animals need to improve. Some say, what about these animals? What wrong have they done? When someone asks about animals, tell them to focus on self-improvement first. In the golden age, animals will be pristine and of the highest quality. There will be no dirt or filth. Any mess made by pigeons in the king's palace will be promptly cleaned up. You've observed, haven't you? In locations with large and magnificent domes, pigeons often manage to create their nests there. Those who were martyred loved cleanliness, so half of them were like that. Not a speck of dirt can be found. Everything is meticulously monitored, with guards ensuring no animals or intruders can enter. There is great cleanliness in the temple of Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan, and even in the temple of Shankar and Parvati, pigeons are shown. When pigeons are shown in the temple, it is for sure. First, those humans who have become worse than animals will be reformed. Some people say, what will happen to these animals? What is their fault? If anyone inquires about animals, advise them to first focus on self improvement. In the age of Satyug, animals will be exemplary and first rate. There will be no filth or waste. Should there be any pigeon droppings in the king's palace, they will face penalties. You must have observed, haven't you, that wherever there are large domes, pigeons often find a way to make their nests and settle there. So those who are killed are very fond of cleanliness. So half of them are like that. There is not even a bit of dirt. Everything is very well maintained and guarded, so that no animals or other creatures can enter. The temple of Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayana is very clean. The temple of Shankar and Parvati is also clean, though pigeons are often seen there. When pigeons are shown in the temple, they must also be causing some damage to the temple. Many exaggerated stories are written in the scriptures. Therefore, the soul for whom God was narrating the tale, aiming for immortality. So, if she doesn't listen attentively to the story, who else will? Perhaps a pigeon? The term pigeon here represents any soul, regardless of its characteristics. If she continues to laugh like that, she too will attain immortality. Similarly, if Parvati, who lives in a state of transformation, happens to neglect her duties, spiritual practices, and responsibilities while on her journey, and falls into a state of slumber, she too can attain a very exalted position. Now Baba explains to the children, only a few can practice dharna. What does Baba say? The temples have been corrupted and the scriptures have many contradictions. Baba explains to the children, but only a few can practice dharna. They do not understand anything about that place. There is also the matter here. Here too there are a few, the father explains to the children. There are a few who can practice dharna. In other words, if you want to be among the few, focus only on dharna. Otherwise, they don't understand anything. Baba explains to the children with so much love. Children, become very, very sweet. Children, become very, very sweet. From yesterday's Murli, we have practical homework to cultivate sweetness. What were the key teachings shared by Baba in Sunday's Murli? Whoever brings the most points and extracts the most insights will receive a prize tomorrow. The topic should be taken from today's Murli. Children, be very sweet. Therefore, to cultivate immense sweetness, tune in to Sunday's Murli. In the Murli of the 23rd, Baba imparted numerous teachings. Write them all down and share them, and the one who identifies the most significant points will be rewarded. To cultivate a very sweet nature, maintain a state of soul consciousness, be supportive to all, and spread joy through your thoughts, words, and deeds. Now, mind, speech, and actions are united. To emphasize, we take them separately. Happiness through mind, speech, and actions. I read everything thoroughly from everyone, and then I compile those three aspects together in such a way that they are unified as one. Does that sound good to you? Baba has instructed us to remember Baba, the teacher, and the Sadguru. Combine these into one point. Keep in mind Baba, the teacher, and the Sadguru. All right, and they think that the master is not watching. So, children, be very, very sweet. Gems should always come out of your mouth. You are embodiments of virtues. Stones should not come out of your mouth. The soul is praised. The soul says, I am the president. I am so and so. The name of my body is this. All right. Whose children are the souls? All right. You have explained whose child the soul is. It must be that from the Supreme Soul you receive the inheritance. How could the Supreme Being be everywhere? You realize that we were once clueless, but now our understanding has vastly improved. When you visit any temple, you will understand that all these are just images. When you enter any temple, you won't see shoes in the depictions. What Baba is trying to convey is that we will understand the deeper meaning of those depictions. All right, Baba, what do you call the soul, truth? Everything else is false, but false does not mean that the picture itself is false. Rather, it signifies not knowing the true reality of anything, living in falsehood. This implies that visiting temples isn't necessary, as our true remembrance and spiritual practice are heartfelt and authentic. However, it is perfectly acceptable if one does not possess a precise understanding of every single detail involved. Therefore, how can he be considered omnipresent in that case? Surely there must be a supreme soul from whom the inheritance is received. Then how can he be everywhere? You understand we did not know anything before. Now, when you visit temples, you will see these are all false. Are there pictures of 10-armed deities or ones with elephant trunks? These are all part of the path of devotion. In reality, true devotion should be directed towards the one and only Shiv Baba, who is the giver of salvation to all beings. It is in your intellect that even the deities Lakshmi and Narayana take 84 births. Then the highest Father comes and grants salvation to all. No one is greater than him. These spiritual teachings can be imbibed by you one by one. These teachings of knowledge can also be imbibed by you in a number-wise manner. If you wish to achieve the highest rank among the devotees, then you must first decide the specific level of imbibing you aspire to reach in your spiritual life and fix your number accordingly. Brother, if you want to pursue a specific profession, for instance, I want to become a hairstylist, then all right, the hair. If someone is styling hair, I won't pursue an engineering degree. Instead, I will focus on hairstyling studies because my passion lies in the fashion industry. If I am interested in fashion design, I would study that instead of going to an engineering college. If I want to be an engineer, I would go to an engineering college. Similarly, as Baba mentions, you can absorb these spiritual teachings at your own pace. The most crucial term here is level. Determine your level, and your spiritual practices will align accordingly. Shiv Baba guides us in spiritual efforts today. This is related to that. If you cannot practice spirituality, what else can you do? If you cannot practice spiritual discipline, what use are you? You did not come here to cook and prepare lentils. You came here to practice spiritual discipline. You did not come here to show off or make decorations. You did not come here to make a name for yourself in the yag. Shiv Baba is present at the center without any obstacles. A zone in charge sister came over to have a meeting and discuss important matters with Baba. Consider what you've accomplished this year. How much have you dedicated to service? Baba inaugurated 43 centers, as that was my doing. Now share what you have achieved. In just a single minute, everything was completely reduced to nothingness and vanished into thin air. Isn't that correct? Services are happening at my door. Tell me about yourself. Where is your account? Where is your yoga chart? Where is your chart of spiritual practices? How many have you made happy? How many remained free from obstacles? How many have you made like the Father? Tell me all this, and do not just keep doing it like this. This is the true earning. If you cannot practice good spiritual discipline, then what use are you? Instead of becoming a guide for the blind, you become blind yourself. Brother Jagdish often gave an example. He came to be Narayana but became Narad. When a cow does not give milk, it is usually sent to a place called an animal shelter. Do you know what an animal shelter is and what happens there? Do you know what it means to give the milk of knowledge? Many are unable to do so as they make no effort at all. Providing the essence of knowledge is extremely important, as it not only enhances one's spiritual health but also brings a delightful experience to the senses. The pure essence of white is profoundly significant, as it fosters a wide range of productive outcomes that can enhance various facets of our existence. Many do not make any effort, so giving knowledge does not mean you start narrating it. In places where cows that do not give milk are kept, it is clear that such a place like Pindrapur does not exist. Is there a particular place where cows that do not produce milk are kept? Has anyone ever come across such a place? Please share your thoughts using your own understanding and reasoning. In the cowshed, a variety of cows are accommodated. It is not just referred to as a shelter, it is a place where all kinds of cows are kept together. In the cowshed, there is also a caretaker who looks after the cows. This detail was noted in the Murli vocabulary. Baba is now explaining that those who cannot absorb this wisdom are like cows that are kept in shelters because they do not produce milk. All right. Now you have written down the names of the specific individuals that you mentioned earlier, haven't you? It's fine to keep cows that do not give milk. We needed to create an understanding of this, so let us search for it again, shall we? It's not particularly crucial, actually. They are unable to provide the essence of knowledge. Many do not put in any effort. They fail to grasp their purpose. When you help others, you don't think about your own fortune. You just accept whatever comes. So the Father says, it is not in their fortune. You should make the effort to improve your own spiritual state. You should strive for your highest salvation. This is the greatest support for the yagya. You must become soul conscious. The Father is the highest. Look how he comes into this impure world. He incarnates into an impure body. When people call him, he comes into this impure world. When Ravana causes sorrow, he corrupts everything. Then the Father comes and makes everything elevated. Those who make good effort become kings and queens. Those who make very good effort become emperors and empresses. Those who make the effort to bring joy and happiness to everyone, they eventually become the world emperor and the world empress. Those who make great efforts become royalty. Those who make an extraordinary effort. Those great kings and queens who perform their spiritual practices well become the rulers who give happiness, becoming the world's sovereigns. Those who make good efforts become kings and queens, while those who do not make efforts become poor. If it is not in their destiny, they do not even make attempts. Today, everything is fine in Budapest. If it is not meant for you, no amount of effort will bring it to fruition. If it is not part of your destiny, all your endeavors will be fruitless. On the other hand, If it is written in your fate, you might not even need to make an effort. Contemplate the teachings of all the dadis with a resolute and clear mind. We don't know what spiritual effort is. We don't know what vices are. They keep crying, and it feels strange to us. Why are they crying? Ask us. We just soared and came. So, what did they establish as their foremost goal? Each individual can shape a favorable destiny by observing the kind of service they render. Good morning, my sweet and cherished children, filled with divine love from your spiritual parents, Baba Dada. Remember and embrace with love all the spiritual children of our spiritual Baba. Good morning and greetings to each one of you. For your spiritual practice, always aim to speak words of wisdom and embody sweetness. Never let yourself become harsh or bitter. Do not waste time. Become sharp in knowledge and yoga to benefit yourself and others. Thus, those souls who are sharp in knowledge and yoga will exhibit practical characteristics, especially in knowledge and yoga. Today, Baba spoke about yoga. We must strive for our highest destiny. Become the support for the blind. You should become a support for those who cannot see, rather than striking them with a stick. It seems you do not understand anything, and we are unable to explain it to you. No, no, come later. Don't just give a stick to the blind, be their stick. Blessing. By always being content and cheerful, you will win the appreciation and admiration of everyone. A sign of contentment will be visibly evident in happiness, and those who are always content and happy are always appreciated by everyone. It is only through joy and contentment that one can achieve true attainment. So always embrace and share the special blessing of being satisfied and joyful. This is because the ultimate offering of this age is the continuous happiness of all Brahmins. The final offering of this yagna is meant to ensure the everlasting happiness and satisfaction of all Brahmins. A particular spiritual discipline for this age, on the basis of which the entire yag can find happiness and satisfaction in a single sentence. Who could it be? There is a certain message that, if communicated, has the power to bring joy to the entire era. You must find out what that particular message is. Indeed, Brahmins are always filled with happiness. When everyone remains in this perpetual state of joy, the sound of this realization will resonate. A union with Baba. The victory flag will be hoisted. The slogan is to become a diamond. Spreading this message celebrates the Diamond Jubilee. How wonderful is this slogan? I want to become a diamond. I aim to be the Supreme Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan. This is the message I want to give. Who is God and what does He do when He comes? All right, Om Shanti. If anyone has questions, please ask. If you have any questions from the Murli, let me know. So, what is today's practical assignment for all of us? First and foremost, we need to recognize that I am a subtle soul, a radiant and shining star. You have to practice this. I, the soul, am subtle and luminous like a star, and then I am seated on the eternal throne. So, who is the soul that sits on this eternal throne? The Supreme Ascetic. Meditate on becoming the highest sovereign. Be the one who gives the greatest joy. Receive the love of the Supreme God. Thirdly, today we need to take out the teachings from the Murli. Baba has mentioned that Baba lovingly explains to the children. Children, become very, very sweet. To become such sweet children, Baba spoke about it in the Sunday Murli, the garland in yesterday's Murli, which has already passed. What were the various topics that were discussed in that Murli? The individuals who gather the most significant points will be awarded a prize. And yes, we will also acknowledge our brothers and sisters on YouTube who participate. Okay, What was the correct answer for the point yesterday? Did you find the points for Bindu?